pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Wanda. Mayor Sheets. Present. Greg Miller. Megan Sheets. Present. Okay, next we have the minutes from the October 25th regular meeting.
I move that we accept the minutes from the October meeting.
I'll second that motion. Mayor Sheets. Aye. Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay. Next on the agenda are the claims for this week.
And I'll also make a motion we approve the claims as submitted this evening.
I'll second that motion. Roll call, please. Mayor Sheets. Aye. Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, were there any public comments? No? Okay.
Right, Tom?
Right, Tom. Yeah, I don't think he signed up. Okay, let's go on to the department reports. Police Department, Chief Shoemaker.
What did you say? What is that? You do? The first item on the agenda, I believe, is the parade, Christmas parade. The Frankfurt Main Street is asking the parade to be on December 4th, 3 p.m. The same route from Main Avenue to downtown on Main Street, around Washington, to Jackson and Clinton, and end here at Old Stone. She's going to get the official paperwork, but we wanted to start planning with the overtime and whatnot. So we talked to her today. Figured we'd get this. I'd ask her to be approved for the Christmas parade.
Chief Shoemaker, I'll make the motion we approve the Christmas parade permission.
I'll second that. Okay, Mayor Sheets. Aye. Megan Sheets.
Aye. I wanted to say something like bah humbug, but I decided.
There was a request for a street light in the 700 block of East Green Street. I went to make copies from Captain Munoz. Went down there and spoke to the neighborhood. And, he requested a light on pole 18 or a new pole be added between 17 and 18. I don't believe that's feasible to put a pole in the middle. I've not seen that done before.
So you think?
So my recommendation is that a light be added to pole 18. I'm sorry, I have to make copies, but that's for the record. It's dark, Little League Diamond. It's dark from the bridge to Catterland Street. And there is a light at Catterland. There's a light just before the bridge, but there's not a light at all in the middle. But
So are you recommending a light added to pole 18 or a new pole?
the recommendation is to have one at pole 18. I would doubt that city utilities would want to put a new pole up, and it wouldn't look, I don't think it would look aesthetically pleasing. There'd be a whole new pole there. So that would be the recommendation for the light to be added to 18.
And this was also stemming from a citizen phoning in a concern, correct?
Yes, there's been at least 3 reports of juvenile mischief. One was criminal mischief, damage to a vehicle.
And your department did some audit of the situation, and you're coming up with that recommendation. I'll make a motion to approve the addition of the light at pole 18, and with the thanks of originating from one of our citizens and their concern.
And I'll second that motion. Mayor Sheets. Aye. Megan Sheets.
Aye.
And also, I believe the mayor received a phone call from Wesley Manor about traffic enforcement. I reviewed the city ordinance and compared it with the state statute, and the state statute has since changed since the city council passed an ordinance in 2019 to allow police departments to enforce moving traffic violations on on private property, such as apartment complexes, residential complexes, and shopping centers. What I've also noticed, we talked to the county recorder, any contract that is created between the police chief and, for this instance, Wesley Manor, should have been recorded in the recorder's office. And we have not, the recorder does not find where this contract was recorded. And so I asked Wesley Manor we're going to start the process over, which requires them to write a formal letter to the mayor, the city executive, requesting the police department enforce the municipal code.
I was thinking, Les, when we did that, wasn't it because of the building that was like it behind with the medical center? Isn't that why we said we were gonna have to enforce it? I don't know, Don, were you here then? Don,
I don't remember.
you don't remember that? I was pretty sure it had to do with that back there behind.
Ordinance 71.5 is not, or 71.05 is not on the website. I don't know if we've codified or put new ordinances online, but this was passed in 2019. The statute less, the only thing few things that have changed. One is the state Indiana code. So I don't know if you think that would prevent me from negotiating the contract with Wesley Manor. I'll have to look at that statute. So I told him that we would bring a letter in case. All I know is we cannot find, it is posted that we're enforcing these rules at Wesley Manor, but there is that Wesley Manor can't find the contract. The police department does not have a contract, nor does the recorder's office, which it is required for all contracts for private business owner and the police department be recorded, and that no enforcement that takes effect until 3 days after that contract recorded. Luckily, we have not enforced anything. So met with them. I'll give this to Les when we talk to legal and get the ordinance. If it needs to be, it does need to be changed, but does a change require us not to be able to continue? Also, the contract that was created in 19, it's the law changed where they have to expire, so there needs to be an expiration added to the statute. So just touching base with you on that we're working with Wesley
I
Manor.
don't remember this at all, but I remember something being brought up about the new, whatever that was behind there, those condos or apartments or whatever behind with them. They talked about being able to enforce that, but that wouldn't have been in 19, I don't believe it would have been since then.
This came about from apartment complexes, probably Springbrook Apartments is the only one the reason we talked about it is to be able to enforce those traffic laws on their private property, which right now we cannot enforce traffic law on private property. So according to the recorder, she's never seen a contract. So we have not been enforcing these. The law says it's the city executive is to be requested of, and then you allow me to do it. The police chief statute requires the police chief and the property manager to have an agreement. So we'll work on that.
That's what I was thinking. Okay, we'll check into that. Thank you, Scott.
Other than that, department updates. I know at the last meeting that the deputy chief was at, we talked about a vehicle. We're working with Wanda. We will work with Wanda tomorrow on the insurance line items. We do finally have the insurance vehicle that was damaged in July. We just got that vehicle, so it'll be another 2 months before it's outfitted and put on the road. But we talked to Wanda. We've got the money to pay for all that out of the insurance line. But the other things we need to do for the truck would be to transfer some money out. But it is a priority, but also what we talked about too at budget time was to buy some laptops and potentially buy a server out of this year's budget. So we didn't, because I think we cut both of those from the public safety list. So we're working on all three of those things, and hopefully at the next planning session, we'll have a plan to be able to get those that equipment and not use next year's budget.
And I think our planning session's Wednesday.
I just wanted, Chief, if you had a moment to share for the benefit of those tuning in and those that are here about your efforts to apply for the grant for the response training and report that that was a success. Your application was successful.
Yeah, I think it was probably about a month or two ago, we tried to go to a training for crisis, our critical incident stress management training in Lebanon. And that class was canceled due to COVID or, this number of enrolled. And so through the United Way and the Eli Lilly grant that is being facilitated by the United Way, we were able to receive just under $10,000 to have this entire class and the participants from all in Frankfort and Clay County be paid for by this grant. And what this grant allows us to teach is peer support, crisis intervention. For example, when there's an active shooter and everybody goes away, this team can come in and provide on location support. They're not going to be therapists or counselors, but the goal is to get people who need more than just maybe a group session or one-on-one with the mentor, is to get them to mental health training, therapists, psychiatrists, psychologists, those kinds of things. And so we'll work hand in hand. We're working with Healthy Communities, United Way, Center Township, obviously the police department, but we'll work hand in hand with the mobile response team that will start with the drop-in center through the foundation's $5 million grant. So we have a lot going on. We work with Center Township to get the training equipment for the de-escalation, the shoot or don't shoot, and now we're moving. And we had just sent 4 officers and then 1 paramedic to our crisis intervention training a month or so ago. And at last check, I think there was 8 of 34 officers need that training. So we're almost to 100% on that. But this CISM grant, the officers were hand selected to be on this team. And they will go through the 3-day training at the police department. So because of the grant, we won't have to travel. And between all those 4 entities, we'll be able to fill the class.
So the grant was actually from United Way and who?
Eli Lilly.
Eli Lilly.
And I think on Wednesday, we actually signed the MOU and all that, and we'll put that out when we get. I think we'll have the check. So we'll need a fund for that check. It's a grant, so we'll need a different fund.
Thank you, Scott.
Well, thank you. I know Megan was instrumental in helping get that to our attention.
They did all the way. I just said, hey, thank you.
So it was like I said, the class is expensive. We're having this will be a doctor and also a counselor coming out, taking 3 days out of their time. So it's expensive. The grant pays for the books, the registrations, lodging, per diem, and whatnot for the instructors.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
That's all I have.
Okay, John Kirby, Fire Department.
Thank you, Mary. I gave you guys some quotes before the meeting started. I'd like to get started on the bathroom at Station 2 and Station 3. And I got quotes from Phil Keck for Station 2 and 3. And Station 2's quotes are $5,250, and Station 3 is $4,750. He would be working on Station 2 first if he received the job. And actually, Aaron's Flooring, who did the flooring for us at Station 2 this past week, he said he's able to do showers as well. So I asked him to give me a quote, gave him the information that we wanted done, and his quotes for Station 2 came in $7,200, and Station 3 $6,800. So, I mean, my request would just go with CAT contracting because of the pricing. And I've heard Phil does a good job.
You have decided where that's gonna be paid from.
Yeah, it's gonna take it out of the building. Building maintenance, we still have 11,000 in building maintenance. And also building materials, that's in the 200s. In the 300, we have building materials that we're still sitting with a little over in repair, about 4,100. So we have the money there to go there for
Just so I
need.
make sure I understand, well, the number on paper is there, we haven't quite expended everything for the renovations. We haven't paid out the others yet that
Right.
reflect that, so are we sure we have a balance that can handle all of the projects?
Yeah,
That's
we
been
moved,
approved, and this one.
we moved some money in fire cum, and we also have around 4,000 or 5,000 left in lit also. And we're gonna move down to the bathrooms that we had for, we got 4,700 left in the hearse tool we had left over, that we're gonna move down to the restrooms, for the fire department and lit. And we also, like I said, we moved about $8,000 around in fire cum to be able to help pay for the painting and blinds and things of that nature.
So all projects that have been submitted, there are adequate monies there.
Yeah, and Phil also said he definitely, just because of, taking so long to get stuff in, he said he should be able to definitely get Station 2 finished up in December, and Station 3 might carry over into the first part of next year. So,
And one thing we wanna remember, and this is for all the department heads, as we're getting towards the end of the year, that if we're not gonna be able to get things paid for, we need at least the contractor invoice or something so that we can encumber the funds.
yes, yeah, I'm trying to, like Aaron's flooring, I just told him today to go ahead and get me, even though he hasn't done 3s yet, get me Station 2, that way we can get that paid. Just stay on top of that stuff since it's towards the end of the year, rather than waiting.
On Aaron's flooring, at the top underneath the address, he's combining Station 2 and 3 at 7,200.
No,
Did he just mean Station 2?
well, he was just, on both of his quotes, he has Frankfurt Fire Station, Station 2 and 3, but
Okay,
he has the same address, but one of them, you see on the description where it says Fire Station
I'm
number
sorry.
2.
Mr. Page.
Oh, it's all right.
My fault.
You're fine.
Okay.
That's why, I thought he would be a little cheaper. Cause he just actually told me on Sunday he could do this.
Mhm.
And he's like, I think I could cut you a really good deal. I'm like, okay,
Well,
give me a
it's
quote.
Nice to have another option to.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we accept your recommendations, Chief, to move with the contracting quotes for both Station 2 and 3.
Okay,
I'll second that motion. Mary Sheets? Aye. Megan Sheets? Aye. And John, if you want to, come up tomorrow or something, we'll get that signed, and then can you get with Phil Keck and let him know?
Mhm.
Okay.
No, I told him I would text him after if he got it approved, because he has to start getting stuff ordered.
Okay, yeah.
He's like, if I don't get it
Sign
ordered,
off
it
on
ain't
it.
gonna get here, he said. So,
Yeah, there's a place to sign off, so
Right.
can we take care of that tomorrow?
yep, I will definitely. Then I just got a couple updates on stuff going on in the fire department. Last week, Mayor, I let you know that we were going down to State Park, Morgan, Monroe, the DNR Fire Headquarters Training Facility. Matt Stidham wrote a small grant to the Indiana Department of Natural Resources just for wildland fire equipment, like just small, hand tools and things. And we received a backpack blower swatters, which swatters are basically things like if you see out west and wildland fires, firefighters are basically fighting the fire with, big fly swatters, patting, the grass down. We got rogue hose, which are to build, fire line trenches, rakes, got a toolbox with tools. Also, they gave us shelving units, and we got a 2-wheel cart, like a dolly they gave us. And we also got a hand dolly that we can move, pallets around if needed to be. So,
And that was at no cost to the city. correct?
right, no cost. And that, like I said, Matt wrote that grant a while back. And, I think his first thought he was going to write it for the new training facility, but obviously we don't really do any wildland firefighting training out there. So he called him, seeing if he could switch it over to the Frank Fire Department. He said yes.
Now you gotta put that equipment on one of the trucks.
Yeah, that's already on.
Is it?
Yeah, we're gonna. I told him today we need to take some pictures and get it on our Facebook and stuff. So Adam Luke is gonna do that tomorrow. I can also get the pictures of Kimberly if you like.
Okay.
So, and then Wednesday we have Learning to Lead. It's a county leadership program for sophomores. They asked us if we would come. I guess they're going to be out at the EMA fairgrounds all day, and they asked us if we would come out and put on set a fire inside the thing and in the training facility and go in and fight the fire and talk to them, kind of explain to them what we do and things of that nature. So Wednesday morning we're going to be out there doing that. I'll make sure we get some pictures also for that for social media. And trying to think of anything else.
You really suit up and go in and video.
If he wants to go in, but let her go in.
First-hand experience, right?
Right.
Then next week from Wednesday, we're going to be out at Frito-Lay doing a confined space drill. They asked us to come out and do one with them since we're their first call for confined space accident or someone goes down. So they have to have proof, I think, for their insurance that we do this. So, so we're going to go out there and do that for them a week from Wednesday. So,
Thank you, John.
well, thank you.
Jason Forsyth, Street Department.
They're falling. Oh, we're out.
Jason,
You know, I was chief.
Oh, no, we did not. How about that?
Oh, already.
Jason, fine, fire.
Yeah.
Chief, I'm there for about 30 minutes. Went down. Thanks, Mayor. I wanted to, and we can do this today, or if you want me to wait until next Board of Works meeting, we can do that too, because I forgot the quotes, but I was gonna bring up a transfer of money from our local road and street, I believe it was line repair and striping, to the repairs line. Reason for that is I'd like to purchase a new plow for our new 1-ton. I had quotes of $5,800 from Clark. A quote, which is a different type of plow, because the other Phoenix was a snow white plow, where this other one was a Western plow for $6,500 or $6,600. I can get those to you and we can worry about it. I didn't know if we could do the transfer before that or get the approval to transfer that. I mean, it's not normally one we have to take in front of council.
Is it all in the twos?
Yeah, 202, 231 merit to 202, 232.
Yeah, you can do that just with the clerk treasurer, and I'm fine with that, or use absolutely.
And if you want me to bring the quotes the next time, I can do that. It's not a big hurry to get the plow. I just wanted to make sure if anything we can get the transfer done. If you guys are looking for those.
Yeah, and you can see the quotes.
Sounds good. Thank you. Basically, that's all I had, except, some department reports. Did you want me to talk tonight about that as well?
Yeah, would you
Okay.
please?
Sure. First real quick thing is, I got with the guys today, we're gonna have another night shift. I just wanna let you guys know, we'll start that when the weather starts to get really bad. It always comes in handy if we get a storm in the middle of the night, we've already got a crew there and can get started on it. Obviously, it didn't help us on Friday and Saturday nights because they work Sunday to Thursday, but it's always came in handy. We have 5 guys, 1 mechanic, and 4 guys working the road and can run each quadrant in the city with a plow or whatever we need to do. So I got the volunteers I needed for that, so we'll start that again this year sometime, probably usually around Christmas time. So, The mayor asked me to kind of give an update on Washington Avenue and a couple other things, but Washington Avenue is going great. Today I got a call from Tony Hobbs right before I came in, and they have laid all the stone and tamped it all down on the south side of Washington Avenue. And then this Thursday and Friday, the concrete crew will be back in to handle the laying the concrete on the south side. There's a few spots on the north side that still haven't been done yet, but they're working on those as well. So the sidewalk should be in, and schedule to lay the 1.5 inch of surface. They've already laid the base and the intermediate asphalt. They will be laying the 1.5 inch of surface sometime around Thanksgiving, the week of Thanksgiving. So we didn't think we was going to be able to do that, and pretty happy that we can get that down.
So what will we have left to do then? Just the striping?
Yeah, there'll be some striping, some signage, and we can't do that with the temperatures being this low, so they'll do that again. They'll finish that all up next year. They'll have your new stop signs. I did order a blinking stop sign there at the intersection of Washington Avenue and Washington Street. That's been requested by several people in town, and I think those things really make the street look nice, and I think they definitely grab your attention. So, and I'm just going to get that out of my own budget.
Okay.
We bought them from the same place every time. They're about $2,800 or so. But I got that ordered, so when they're finished, and our guys will install them.
Okay.
So yeah, Washington Avenue is going really well. Been making a lot of progress. They did all the approaches, the intermediate and the base approaches to each of the side streets are done, just as well as the entire street. Post office entrances have both been open the last couple weeks, or last week anyway, because they've been working on the Clay Street entrance, doing some things down there. So, but everything looks really good down there. Pretty happy with it. So. State Road 28, I requested a public meeting, and they've granted that. I don't know if you guys got the news release. I've asked Shan today at RDC meeting to send out basically the release that Kimberly sent to me to send out to all the businesses up to, I think he has to Schultz, Main Street has that. So he's going to do all that. And, hopefully I've asked the councilman to reach out to anyone that might, especially Mike and Joe, since it's kind of in their neck of the woods, but ask them to reach out to anyone that they might think that would want to be there. This is our opportunity to voice our concerns, and I think it's nice that they were willing to do so. So, but that is November the 18th at 7 o'clock at the library, the public library. So if you know of anyone that wants to show up for that, Ken, I think you guys should have got a news release on that. So, and I think with Shannon giving it out, at least to Schultz. I talked to Peyton Aker from 3Ds today, told him what was going on, so he's willing, he's going to be there for that. So I think the word will spread. We got a couple of weeks before it starts. And then last thing, obviously, I think you saw we got our community crossing grant last Wednesday, which is a lot off of my shoulders. I was wondering why we hadn't heard anything, but nobody had. So we're getting an additional $464,000. And like the release said earlier, $928,000 for paving this year that we'll do springtime. I've already started the process, Mayor, to get information to Les. I talked to him today as well about getting the contracts so we can encumber and be ready to go. So,
We thank the council as well, because they did that additional appropriation. So that bumped it up to 200,000 more. So we're able to double the 461.
double twice.
Yeah, double twice.
Everybody's worked really well together on that. Got a lot of good information that I was able to use when I applied, and I think we're doing, I think it's 24 or 25 different projects that I think definitely, they're all 2-rated roads like I've spoken in the past, so they're all deserving of having it done. There's always those ones that might be left out, but we're working towards getting our roads to where they need to be. And I think we've done a lot of work on that over the last 6 years.
And we're going to put those bids out. Next meeting?
Yeah, if we,
Yeah.
yeah, I asked, I'm putting this all together, I asked to get that information as quick as possible. And I've had people contacting me, wanting to know, I'm like, well, I can't really do anything until I hear. So now that I've heard,
Once we get those bids in, see what kind of bids we get in and what kind of money we have, and determine definitely which projects we're gonna be able to do.
I don't think we've ever had an issue, Mayor, where we've had 24 projects. I think our estimates have always been really good. They've always worked out real well. I don't think we've ever had to drop anything off of it. I don't see any reason why we would here either. So
That's good.
that is all I have.
Okay, thank you, Jason, I appreciate it. A lot of good things happening.
When you go back to the number.
Yes, sir.
Building services, Don Stock.
Good evening, Mayor, Megan. First on our agenda is the October permit report. 67 permits were issued in the month of October. Of them, 11 were roofs, 8 30-day electrical, which means that there were some homes that haven't had electricity turned on them for a while, turned on, more than likely for either purchase or to update. We've had 6 commercial and industrial applications for certificate of occupancies and 6 minor residential renovations. We've collected a total revenue of $4,293.75 in the month of October. And as you can see, in 2020, we collected $2,970, and in 2019, we collected $3,820. So we're up and above the last couple of years. Also in your packet, you received from the Historic Preservation Organization a list of historic properties that have been now designated as outstanding, notable, contributing, or non-contributing. The only district that we're still waiting for is the South District, which is over there on Main Street. And Tommy Kleckner from the Indiana Historical Society is the organization that has helped us through that. There are some properties in Christian Ridge that we'll need to go to personally. We haven't done that yet, as we're trying to get caught up on our permit applications and closing them, as some individuals who get permits do not call us back when they get finished. So we're going out and trying to get those finished before the end of the year. But what this basically does is now it signifies to the property owners whether their property is an outstanding or notable, which basically would mean that very, very seldom will they be able to do a lot of different things to their homes, as in siding it or putting new windows in. The restrictions will become pretty difficult for them. Contributing and non-contributing, though, opens the door a little bit for them to have the ability to take care of their homes, especially if they've already had siding put on it. There are some contributing factors to the house, like maybe their front porch may be still a factor, or something that has to do with the decor of the building that the historical board will want to keep tabs on and make sure it does not get changed. And the non-contributing is pretty much, let's just make sure we get it back in order and going in the right direction.
I'm glad to see these, and you're gonna make sure that this is discussed with the historic preservation. And
We are.
And then as we go to enforce these type things, that we can make the residents as well as.
We are, and Tommy Kleckner will be coming to our next historical meeting at the end of, probably be the 1st of December with Thanksgiving. We'll probably not meet during the Thanksgiving week. We'll meet afterwards, and he's gonna come and he'll explain the process and what it means and where we go from here. This is the first of a lot of steps for this organization. We're going to try to work on their education, and not only the board's education, but the general public also. We have a letter ready to go out to all the members of the Christian Ridge District that explains to them that they're in it, what to expect, what their property classification is. And so if they have any questions, they can come to our office. Our office is going to try to do a lot of the middle ground here, where we can try to resolve a lot of issues prior to going before the board. And we're going to try to step up our game in that area also. and do a better job in 2022.
Thank you for getting that done.
Not a problem. I was glad to get it finished ourselves. I want you to know that Riley School, their subdivision is ready now to go before the Plan Commission on the 1st of December for their provisional plot. We received all of their drawings and paperwork. They've all have everything on the drawings that meet the requirement of the provisional plot. So we'll now take it before the Plan Commission at the end of the month, 1st of December. And also today we received notification from the DNR, the floodplain individuals, that we kind of got dinged a little bit because our building permit didn't have a lot of information to do with floodplain. So we rewrote our building permit and made our adjustments. We sent it in to them. They've accepted it. A couple of little changes which weren't very big. So we're going to make those adjustments. And now then we're good to go as far as DNR is concerned and the floodplain individuals that we've got ourselves covered where we didn't have in the past.
And they're very complimentary of Ashley.
Yeah.
And tell her how much we appreciate that.
I will. Ashley's a big player in the office. She does a lot that needs to be done and keep us on a time frame. And we're very thankful for her and can't wait for Michaela also to be able to take Susan's place when Susan retires at the first year.
Riley School, I get questions every day about that. So they're going to try to put in 10 homes right now, is that right?
Yeah, right now, the provisional plot isn't all of Riley School. There are 10 lots that have already been approved in the past that they could build on. They have a slight challenge, and the slight challenge has to do with stormwater. We're still working on that issue. But basically, it's going to be about 30 lots altogether when they finish with the buildings, homes up on Riley School and in the west end of the football field that have not been plotted. And well, they've been plotted, but they're rechanging the lot numbers. So they're going to redo all that. Also, half of the streets on the Riley School area is also owned by the developer, and they're going to grant that back to the city to get that off of their plate. And so those are the things that they'll be coming before them. What's going on out there right now is they're developing an alley in the middle way, and the alley will have in it a sanitary sewer that they're putting in right now. And they're also will be running their underground electricity through the alleyway also. So that'll be the next thing in line that they'll be running. As we mentioned, they have a little challenge with their storm sewers. A lot of the piping out into the street are not big enough to contain the football field, even though they're only going to be producing about 2.3% more water from their buildings. But still, Dan Sheets from the Drainage Board has been very, very good with working with the organization. And we think that we'll be able, through maybe some swells, be able to slow the water down enough that it would be able to be maintained once it gets to the street.
Thank you for all your work on that.
No problem. Thanks.
Thank you. Parks Department, Brooke Cranning.
Good evening.
Hello.
I really don't have a lot for the board. My biggest thing I wanted to let everyone know, I think I mentioned it last time, we spent from our funds we were donated last year for Christmas, we had spent a little over $27,000 on new and exciting, really cool Christmas displays, and they will all be here this week. So
That's exciting.
we will be, we have some assembly we have to do, but for the most part, they're going to arrive ready to go. So we're just putting up Christmas lights as often as we can. So we're going to stay late, working on the weekends. But.
And I'm friends with one of the Parks Department's employees. He was saying they'll also be decorating Prairie Creek Park. Christmas, that'll be that.
We have a lot of cool plans for Prairie Creek Park.
Good.
We didn't want to leave it out. So, yeah.
That'll be great.
Yeah, but that's what we're doing. That was really going to be my only thing, unless you guys have any questions. But
I don't have anything.
it's just Christmas time for us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you had very many volunteers?
We had the list for volunteers filled up within, like a week or two. There's only maybe 3 spots left.
That's great.
Yeah. So it was, and last year we didn't really allow them to come. So now they're invited to, and we're happy to have them. So we picked up a couple new Christmas suits, and we also Santa suits, and we also ordered elf suits as well. So
All right.
I sent to order an elf when they do.
All right.
That was Marty's idea.
Was it? Good.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have HR and, did you want Megan to talk about that, the health insurance
Sure.
for our employees and retirees? I'm gonna have Megan tell you what we've decided.
Yes, I'm serving also on the insurance committee, but as well as on the Board of Works, and just really pleased that our employees took to heart the clinic and and utilizing the clinic, and that has helped play in large part to the fact that the city for the second year in a row will not be increasing any of the premiums for the employees and so forth for either health, dental, or vision. So we're glad to be able to maintain that. And our MJ and Associates, our brokers, also work very diligently in brokering that deal for us as well. So we're pleased to make sure that, and the HR sent the letters out, and it's in open enrollment now. So, but just for the public and so forth, wanted to make sure that we share that with everyone.
And make sure your employees know as well.
Yes.
Yeah, we're excited to be able to do that this year. Hopefully, with the raise going through and then not raising the insurance, they'll see a difference this year. And we're going down to 26 pays rather than 27. So their paychecks, they should be able to tell a difference. But we have to show our appreciation as well to the employees for what all that they've done to keep those rates down. I mean, if they didn't work at that, we wouldn't be able to do this either. And using the clinic is so important. And then also just to make sure that when you are ill, whether you go to the emergency room or the urgent care or the doctor's office, all those things play a part. So I think our employees are doing a great job.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Okay, Les.
A couple of things, Mayor. The board will recall that at its meeting on October 25th in the Ed Cripe matter, the Board of Works then served notice on Lieutenant Cripe of the statutory rights and his notice of chief's charges. That was on October 25th. And Mr. Cripe's counsel then filed a request for hearing, which they are entitled to do, an administrative hearing, and also filed a motion for stay, which is sort of a continuance of the hearing. It would be stayed until the disposition of the criminal charges or until earlier agreed to hearing. And in the meantime, the mayor last week has removed Mr. Cripe from the position of assistant chief of the fire department, and he has been placed on C crew there in the fire department pending these disciplinary proceedings. I have prepared an order, if the board is inclined, that would stay the proceedings until the earlier of the disposition of the criminal charges in the trial court, or agreed by the council as to an earlier disciplinary hearing date. It also orders the council for Mr. Cripe to notify this board at least 30 days before any dispositive date for the trial charges in order that we can set the disciplinary hearing. So that order is before the board if you want to adopt it.
Thank you, Les.
Yes. Yes, we've had the opportunity to review, and thank you, Les, for preparing this, and your counsel all around for Chief Kirby and the Board of Works. So I'll make the motion that we approve the order that you're presenting to us this evening.
I'll second that. Okay, Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
The other matter, Your Honor, is Resolution 21-15. And that is a resolution approving redevelopment commission sidewalk project and consenting to the owners to be owner's representative. This is for the 92 linear feet of sidewalk and curbing in front of auto zone and some patching of asphalt there. And also, I think, some electrical work in connection with replacement of the street light. So the redevelopment commission at its meeting earlier today did adopt its resolution 2021-4, which approved that project as an emergency under the Public Works statute. 2 quotes were requested, one from Milestone. It was $48,600, and the other from Jim Michaels Construction, which was $53,000 some odd dollars, 620, something like that. So their resolution did approve the Milestone quote as going forward with this as an emergency project under both the Public Works statute and as an economic development project for downtown Frankfurt, tied into our economic development plan. They did pass resolution 2021-4, subject to approval of this board, to the project, to overseeing the project, and the contact being Don Stock, to be the representative for the Board of Works and the redevelopment commission in connection with the project. So 2115 just approves that, and the project is to be paid for through the RDC tax increment finance funds for the consolidated allocation area, unobligated funds.
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution 21-15 presented this evening, along with our appreciation to the RDC for funding that emergency project.
Yes. Thank you, Joe, for taking that before the RDC.
You're welcome.
for us. Oscar Sheets. Aye. Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Sorry, Wanda. Yeah, that's RDC right. Yeah. Okay, anything else for us?
So, thank you.
I don't think I have anything else on this. Okay, anybody have anything for unfinished business tonight? Megan, you have anything? No. Anything under new business? Anything? Okay. Take the motion to adjourn. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming tonight. See you at 7.
And they